Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. I'm going to give a shout out to Robbins Hood today. Um, he has inspired me to keep going. I ran across this guy. Um, I it had to have been God putting him in my way. I was looking for somebody that maybe Doug could connect to and feel some spirituality out of a man, um, that might help build his future for himself with a little bit of peace in there somehow. What got me was one video that he did. He was talking about somebody that had betrayed him. I don't know if it was like a brother-in-law or somebody that was like looking at other women besides like his sister. I can't remember if that's what it actually was, but Robin was so upset, and the words that were coming out of his mouth sounded so much like how I would have sounded like 20 years ago when I had heard that at relatively maybe the same age. And it's just continued. I mean, I mean, I can't say, maybe somewhere in past lives maybe we were twins or something. I have no clue. All I know from my experience is the coincidences between my life, the correlations and the things that go on in his life, that he is living through, that I have lived through, and I can recognize the similarities there. So I was on one of his, he had a StreamYard and invited guests on there. And I was sort of like starstruck because, well, shy, because I do admire this person enough to have stayed watching him for over 6 years now. And yeah, he does inspire me to keep going. Um, we haven't always agreed, but that doesn't matter either. Even on that live stream, I had things that I wanted to say, but I didn't realize how to first wear my headphones so there wasn't an echo. And then somebody else started talking about like inner earth or something, and I had something like totally different on my mind that would have been more pertaining to the spirituality of the whole situation. But I wasn't even able to talk, not just because of my shyness, but because of the interruption that did irritate me. But um, it was good. It was good to be on there. I mean, I hope I didn't make too big of a fool out of myself, but yeah, it was difficult because also the person that was on there, and I know for a fact with me, is into witchcraft. I mean, I can spot a witch a mile away, or yeah, long further than a mile. So it was contrived in that respect. And yeah, it did make me look like an awful fool, but I'm getting over it, because these people are put in our lives to interfere with people connecting with the true spirit of Christ, and that is exactly what happened on that day. But anyway, I'm recommending Robin's channel. You will not find a better human being to be a friend. I would be proud to call this man my friend. Although I was looking for people to get along with Doug, I told him if that doesn't work, if we can't come close under the name of God, then I'm going to find friends of my own I don't care if they're women, men, children, whoever they are, that can relate to me on that spiritual level, not just in the physical. And so that's what I started doing. I started making my own friends because I live with somebody that doesn't see anything wrong with having all kinds of friends, but is truly jealous of any friendships I have, although he would never admit it. And I'm not trying to put him down here. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with me making a life for myself and me finally caring about me for once. The first time I have ever been self centered in my whole life has been probably these past 5 years in a big way. So, um, I will leave a link to his last video in here. His conversations, those are my favorites. His like when he's driving to work or driving home from work, and just the thoughts out of his head. And some of them are incredibly wild. Um, a person might even think, unless you were, uh, if you're rolling with God in your heart, you're not going to see this man as crazy. If you don't have God in your heart, he'll probably sound a little off to you. It just depends on where you're coming from. But I'm just telling you, you won't find a better friend on the planet. I just know this in my heart. Why? Because I just know it. You ever meet somebody and you think, God sent you? you know, you just kind of know it. So, um, the other day on Lionel Nation, he was saying he doesn't need anybody to come on his show, but he is willing to go on other people's shows if you let him know who they are. He's going to be on some, I can't remember the name of the news station. He's been on like RT America, and he's done talk radio and a lot of different things. He's a really talented person. I'm not sure, like, if you put Lionel and Robin together, I'm sure they would find a lot of things to talk about. But what the premise of the whole thing would be to start the conversation, I have no clue. Otherwise, I would recommend Robin to Lionel. In fact, that would be a really amazing conversation. I wouldn't mind hearing that. Somebody that's like um, out in the workforce doing manual labor versus somebody that is more politically inclined. Um, two different sectors of our society, two men um, that have concerns for other people on this planet, like two separate worlds, though, coming together and discussing what's going on in the world. That would be a really good conversation, you know. I wouldn't say two different classes because I put both these men in the same class, which would be caring about other people. So, yeah, that would be a great conversation. So, Lionel or Robin, if you're hearing this, those are the two people I'd like to hear talk. You know, how can we make a difference in this world? What we can do to help other people and that type of thing. And I'm going to give a mention to my friend Constantine, Mr. and Mrs., and their little girl over in Russia. They're going on vacation. I asked them if they were going to vacation in Ukraine. It's a bad joke, but he did laugh. See, the sad thing about it is my friends in Russia aren't safe. And why aren't they safe? because of the war machine going on in the world has nothing to do with how the people of my country feel about the people in their country. Our governments don't care, you know, and I'm sure they want me to be just as safe as I want them to be. So he said no, they were going to go to the ocean um, in on Russian land. So that's good. So, and Doug told him to be careful of the sharks. So, or the jellyfish. He says no, they have dolphins. That would be so cool. I have never had the opportunity to see a dolphin, although I've been to the ocean a couple times. The Gulf of Mexico and like Daytona Beach and whatever, and seeing the whole Atlantic seaboard, but I've never seen, never been there long enough to see like a pod of dolphins go swimming by or whales or anything like that. So that would be really incredible. That'd be cool. So I've seen stuff in like aquariums and zoos and but well, I'm gonna get this uploaded and I am going to be back. I um I just wanted to introduce you to who I consider to be a good friend on this planet. And I know that I have friends that are protective over me like that. And I am grateful, but in a lot of other ways, I get attacked by the dark forces, no matter if I'm protected or not, right in my own home. So, um, you know. But anyway, I will talk to you all soon. Have a really good day or night. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Thanks for joining me.